new Skoda Kodiaq. It is the flagship of flagship from Skoda, it being the LMK edition or the Lauren and Clement. This is the first 7-seater from Skoda, and not only that, I think in this segment by far this is one of the most sharpest looking cars. Let's see why ahead in the video and also go through its various features and drawings. So welcome to another episode of CrankIt.
Yo, this a motherfucking war zone. It's a war zone. Yeah, feel the impact. Yeah, break it open, leaving nothing fucking intact. Hey yo, you been hacked. It's safe, hard in, but I found it, homie, been cracked. But ain't nothing inside. Hey yo, we been.
The Kodiaq is definitely an eye-catcher on the road. Thanks to its seamless design, its sharp edges and its impeccable contours. And more to that, the attention of detail it gives to the smallest of things. For example, look at the headlights over here. You can see how they have tried to imitate a crystal design into it, and the lights go, the lines going into the headlight. You can find a similar pattern inside the car also, in the instrument cluster, the dashboard and all. And if you come back around, you can see the textures they have tried to implement into the tail lights too. It gives a really sharp look to the car. Apart from that, you can see it has all even panel gaps, and the creases just run along the car like it's cuts of diamond. And these are some of the points which I love about the car. This being the top end of Kodiaq, which is the LMK edition, comes only in two colors, the red and the brown. And I really feel the red has a lot more street presence compared to any other colors on the road. Other than that, if you come around, the minute details which I wanted to show you, the rubber guards on the door. These are the minute details which any as a consumer would love. And these are mechanically linked to come out when you open the door and go in when you close back, which I find it very crucial, especially in Indian parking conditions where people really don't care when they open the door and they hit each other's car. Now, coming back around, nothing much to see here. Okay, now let's look at what powers this beast inside. So let's pop the trunk and have a look inside, shall we? Mind you, the hood is a little bit heavy and we need to put a little effort till the pneumatic struts can take over. Other than that, it has multi-link hinges which let it open in a cool way. Okay, now coming to more serious matters. This car is powered by a 2-liter turbocharged diesel engine. It churns out 148 HP at 4000 RPM and around 340 Nm of torque. Is it enough to push this car all the way? The car being just 1800 kilos feels more than enough, because it's mated to a 7-speed dual clutch, the DSG transmission. Now it's time to check out the interiors. Wow, the butterfly grills are something to admire here, and this being the LMK edition again has the front camera integrated with it. Now let's have a look inside. Coming into the car, the first thing you'll notice is the Kodiaq sills. Apart from that, it has a tiny feature where you can put your waste here. So it's like a motion towards Swachh Bharat, and you can keep the roads clean and not throw any waste outside. And one more cool feature is you get an umbrella with it. Okay. Sitting inside the car, both the driver's seat and the passenger seat comes with 3 memory seats, and it is all electronically adjustable. Comes with dual glove boxes, and of course the technical eyes, and steering wheel with both height and rake adjustment. Going ahead and starting the car now, you can see how the LED instrument cluster just lights up beautifully, and we'll have a different take where we show the different modes in it. And then we have of course the central display, which also has a lot to talk about and which I'll be showing you later on in this video. Now let's go ahead and check out the back seat now. Sitting at the back seat, the primary concern for anyone would be the leg room, and this one has ample of it. Apart from that, the car looks really roomy and lots of windows everywhere. It has a panoramic sunroof. You can open it in the front part too here. The angle of the seats can be adjusted to what you want, and apart from that, even the length, so that the people at the back can be more comfortable with it. And it's another nightmare about sitting there, which I'll show you soon. And for the people at the back, not only that, they get their own rear AC vents, which they have their own temperature controls for, and apart from that, a 12-volt outlet too. Now if you come around, I will show you how easy, not so easy, but how hard it can be to get in the back actually. So you pull this lever and the seat folds, and you climb your way into the back like this, and you pull the seat back up. I must tell you that I feel really cramped out over here. My knees are touching the seat and it is left raised above. But what can I say though? This place is not for a full-grown adult, but definitely for kids, and maybe one full-grown adult if he is willing to sit facing that side. And well, one perk of sitting in the back seat would be you get your own 12-volt charging port. Coming back out also is a hassle. Okay, now talking about the competition, what I feel this car lacks with the mid-row seating is that it misses a captain's seat, like what you would find in a Crista or a Fortuner. Apart from that, I think it's pretty spacious for a 5+2, not a true 7-seater though. Alright, enough talking about the seating. Now this being an SUV, let's talk about its utilities. Oh yeah, one more cool feature. It gets its own liftable sunshades. So imagine you are in a condition where you have lots of baggage in your hand and you don't have access to open the car, even though it's just a single switch. The Kodiaq comes with hands-free operation of the boot, where you just sway your leg underneath it and the boot opens. Now the Kodiaq has a 270-liter boot capacity, and you fold these two seats, your boot space has now been upgraded to another 630 liters. Now looking into the boot compartment, you have a tray here where you can keep space, otherwise just leave it closed, and the space saver wheel is underneath this. And not just that, the subwoofer also comes underneath this, which you can unplug or plug it whenever you need. And other cool features at the back, you have lights, you have baggage hangers, and admire this thing over here. You just take it out, it's a torch. Put a button, you are at night, you have a puncture, so when there is no light, you can just stick it to the door panels like this and get the ambient light you need. And the same way, just put it right back over there. And if this much space is not enough, you can fold the mid-row section too, and you get a massive storage of 2005 liters. And to close the boot, one touch again, electronic tailgate, everyone. Like I said earlier in the video, we'll be doing a different take to show you what's the extra about the instrument cluster we have in this compared to the one in the style. Because the style doesn't come with an LED display and with an option to change these modes. We have this view, we have this view, we have this view, we have this view, and again back to the one we were earlier. Apart from that, it can show you the navigation also here, the present music or the media device and details on that right here in front of you. And you can set speed limits, cruise control, all the usual about any other DSG car you get from the Volkswagen group. Now coming to the central console, there's really a lot to talk about. It has the radio, the media, the phone, where you can use as a mirror link or Apple CarPlay, and the navigation here and the apps which will be linked through your phone, you can access it here. and the car details while it's running. The basic details, basically the range, the average speed, the average fuel consumption, and even in that there is different things you can see where okay, these are the different modes which you can set for the instrument panel over there. The driving data, which is this, the vehicle status, if there is any errors or the fluid is less in the washer fluid, or any tire there is low pressure, it will all be displayed over there. Drive green is like something for the eco mode, shows you how efficiently you are driving. And if you go to the menu, again it's plenty to go from there too. And of course it has voice access also to access different things. Now going back to the car settings, you can go to the settings, and there is really a lot of things you can change over here. In the electronic stability control system itself, you can either put it off completely, or you can put it in sports mode, where it's kind of thing where when you're trying to get the car sideways, you can still have the power on and it won't cut off power there. Other than that, the ambient lightings can be changed over here. You can set to different settings over there. You can check the color changes both at the ambient side and also at the instrument panel. Now going back again, you can set your mirrors and wipers to auto or not, the seats, and a lot of things like that. The media system of this car comes with a 9+1 speaker system. Now that is one thing where the Kodiaq lacks compared to the Superb, which comes with a 12 speaker system. But there is nothing much to complain about in that case, because the audio quality is still pretty good. I can't play non-copyrighted music, so sorry, I have to pause it. Some other cool feature of the car, it's a voice enhancer which lets you talk to your rear passengers more efficiently, so it amplifies your voice towards the back speakers. And let's talk about park assist now. It has a 360-degree field of view for the cameras, and in different modes you can view it in the top angle, the inclined angle, or the side angle. Okay, going back to the normal one, you put it to reverse gear, and it will even show you where your car is steering towards, like pretty much any other car right now, which is not something special but definitely something useful. The car, of course, as mentioned earlier, comes with a 4x4 7-speed DSG gearbox. You can control the traction system over here, and the parking brake is an electronic parking brake, the hill assist, and you have different driving modes too. You have the eco, the normal, the sport, the individual, and the snow mode. Now in the individual mode, you can set the parameters to like how you like it. I have set everything to sport, so yeah, it depends upon your individual interests. The speaker systems are from Canton, which I forgot to mention earlier, and the car comes with 9 airbags and a load of safety features. It has the standard ABS, the ESC, the ESP, the EBD, and even something called the MKT.
Driving the Skoda Kodiaq is fairly effortless, considering the mass and bulk of the car, majorly because of its dynamics, which gives you the feel of driving any other sedan. Getting into your comfortable driving posture is also simplified by all-round servo motors working to adjust the seating parameters, even lumbar and thigh support. But something I found missing was how Skoda engineers could have programmed the seats to retract when you want to get out, and of course return to its last seating profile when you unlock the car and want to get back in. Comfort, including the NVH levels, is top-notch in the car. You can be doing triple-digit speeds and none of your passengers will be complaining of any wind noise or tire noise from the road creeping into the cabin. To hell with that, your passengers wouldn't even have a clue of what speeds you're doing. The suspension is fairly on the stiffer side in comparison with the segment competitors like the Fortuner or the Endeavour. But the lack in comfort in bumpy roads compensates to its stability through corners and at high speeds. Though stiff, it still dampens the bumps neatly and doesn't make any sounds like you are hurting the car. The brakes get a big vouch from us, as it is not only necessary for the car to be powerful and be mated to one of the fastest gearboxes in the era, but it also needs to have the brakes good enough to instill that confidence to push the car to its limits. And the Kodiaq, with all-round disc brakes and the loaded safety features, really does the job. With the various driving modes, the car offers an eco mode too. The ECU not only limits the throttle input and the fuel consumed, but it also lets you coast the car like it's in neutral unless you tap the brakes and it engages back into gear, as it is easier to slow down that way. I wasn't particularly satisfied with the power the engine outputs though. The 2-liter diesel engine churning out 144 horses mated to the 7-speed DSG gearbox really does the job, but could have been better. Us car enthusiasts could have liked it even more if it was somewhere around the 200 HP mark, especially as the competition offers way more power for less of the price. Now coming to the conclusion regarding the Skoda Kodiaq, it is a brilliant car, top of the line, and really makes a statement. It comes loaded with features, some very useful, some annoying, like the parking sensors going bonkers and playing techno music, especially in Bangalore traffic. But that aside, the Kodiaq really checks most of what a car enthusiast wants, offering decent performance and driving pleasure, and of course not to forget the ear-gasming Canton speaker systems. The Gearhead Bureau approves this as one of the best SUV in its segment, and as usual, thank you for watching this episode of CrankIt from the Gearhead Bureau.